Good afternoon, welcome. I don't really know quite what form this video is going to take, but just up this road, along this main road here, there is a nature reserve that I've driven past on numerous occasions, but never actually visited. So I've decided what we're going to do today is we're going to go have a look, see what's there, and have a look around, and you're welcome to join us as well. Grassland scrub and bare ground habitats. Fair enough. I have no idea what used to be here, but it looks like it was cleared for properties at some point, sort of flat squares of land. Oh, and the road. These are like relatively recent houses. I think that's about the width of the site. That is the lower entrance off the main road, and just the other side of that fence there is a school playing field, school sports centre. And this road does continue for as far as I can see down there, so we'll have a look. It looks like this could be a relatively recently installed fence. It's all very shiny, and there's still some very obviously spray painted marks on the ground. And I was thinking it seems a shame to have a nature reserve and then close off a chunk of it so we can't walk on it. But it's not a people reserve, is it? It's a nature reserve. So bits of it are closed off so nature can use it, and we can't get in the way. And it obviously has been, or is the intention for there to be livestock, because there's a watering trough, presumably with a water supply. And there's one on either side of the fence. Aha, some information. See a pond with like a pier built over it. I'm guessing for nature study. Accessible by ramp. Sign over there that says something to do with Tesco, but I can't read it from this distance, so I'll have to blow it up on the video. I was thinking, ooh, we found some wildlife, but I suppose these aren't wildlife, are they? These are domesticated life. These are farm life. They look like juveniles. They look somewhat inquisitive. And that one has an itch. Really does have an itch. From the map, it looks as though we just walk around this field now and then come back to that point where that pond was, but we will go and explore and film anything else that looks mildly interesting. Over that way somewhere you've got NESCOT, I never remember what NESCOT stands for, North East Surrey College of Technology, I think. And they used to have quite a large farm over there, But then they sold that off for a housing estate and downsized their farm. So I wonder if they're involved, if their students are involved in the upkeep on here as well. No idea. I think that was a bird of prey. I will ask my father-in-law because he's an expert on such things. I've just popped down onto the footpath that runs along the edge of the site rather than the more interesting footpath up along the edge of the field. Because down here you've got a sort of four-way meeting of footpaths. You've got the Glyn sports pitch there, then a footpath, and then the Nescott main campus and farm, and then another footpath that goes down to West Ewell Station. Then you've got the Nescott sports fields, and then a footpath that goes down that way, and then there you've got the Priest Hill Nature Reserve and the footpath has just come down. Then you're back to the school sports fields. So there's a lot of things split up by footpaths around here. But we're going to go back in here and carry around the site with a squeaky gate. Sorry. Look out for any stray balls from the rugby club. Another thing that makes me think the fence is relatively new and they haven't quite had all their gates delivered yet. It's bodging a wooden bit of fence. Depression looks like it may have been a pond at some point, but it's pretty solid now, isn't it? Shall I walk across it? Yeah, it's definitely solid. I could be mean and make it look like I'm sinking by doing this with the camera. There are some reeds over here, so this may be a pond. No, I don't think so. It's just some reeds. Just as we were walking past more of those flat patches of land, wondering what they were, this couple in front overheard us and gave us a potted history of the area. It used to be playing fields and various sports pitches, courts and pavilions owned by the local school board, and that she had actually played on them back in her school days. It was then left abandoned and finally sold to a property developer.
They wanted to put a whole hotel complex and housing estate here, but failed to get planning clearance multiple times. Finally, they were given permission to build a few houses on the edge of the site, the ones we saw on the way in, as long as they renovated the rest of the site and then handed it over to the Surrey Wildlife Trust to be conserved. To be fair, I could have already known at least some of that if I'd actually read the information boards we saw earlier, instead of just filming them. But it was amazing to meet someone who had actually used the site in its previous form.
You can see for quite a long way from here. And another, what we now know, was a tennis court or other sports court. Shall we borrow Kerry's phone with the zoom and have a better look? Do you get the feeling it might be feeding time soon or something? Given they've all gathered in the corner by the water trough nearest the vehicle access. Having spoken to the lady back there, I assume these are the expensive houses that the landowner was granted permission to build and then donated the rest of the land. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. Thank you very much for watching to the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time.